Hi everyone, welcome to the demo of our project 3 for the 5610 web development course. My teammate Jordan and I would do a demonstration of our project. So when the user has access to our website, they are prompted to either log in or create a profile. Right now we will demonstrate a new user creating a new profile. So I'm going to use the name Ricky Martin. And the username I'm gonna say GitHub Riki, and then password I'm gonna say 12345 6. So after the user creates their profile, then they are prompted to select the languages and frameworks from their current tech stack, their current abilities that they have in software development. So let's say that the user knows Python, Java, TypeScript, and let's say C. And then some frameworks they know about React, Node, Bootstrap, and Express. And some databases they've worked with Mongo and MySQL. And then they go ahead and create an account. They also have the option to skip, and they can add this later in the user profile, which we'll talk about later on. But once they create the account, oh, once they create the account, they're prompted to a homepage where they see all the repos available.
Yep. So at this homepage, we have kind of a dump of all the current repositories. This is both populated from a preceded collection of repos, as well as a live check against the GitHub API. So we added some pagination towards the bottom so that the users can scroll through the different pages and kind of go through all of these different repos. We added a few different tags toward the repos so they kind of have a basic idea of what they might be able to work on, what the repo kind of contains. So you can see some of them say React, TypeScript, all that type of stuff. What's mainly important is then if the user goes to the matches page, they see the repos that kind of match the tech stack they selected. In the top right hand of the cards, you can see a little bit of a score. We had a slight scoring algorithm to kind of rank these different repos based on the different topics they have and how big the projects have. So you can see here, some of these are mentioned mid-sized projects, others are large, others are small. So the user can kind of go through these different matches and decide which ones they want to work on. We also clearly display the star count and the different contributors and fork counts on the repos themselves, so users can kind of get a sense of how popular or how active maybe a repo is at the moment. From there, the user can either view the repo themselves to get a little bit of an idea. See, it pulls up right here. And then the user can go ahead and track the repo if they want to add it to their dashboard. So on the dashboard is the user's tracked repos. You can see a little bit of some fun information at the top. It just kind of displays all the different languages that they are currently working with or involved with, and the total star count of all the repos that they are working on. Um, Within here, the user can untrack the repo if they no longer want to view it, and they can also open up the repo log.
So if the user decides to um, once they decide to work on a specific repo, as Jordan mentioned, they can do a log for that specific repo. And what the log does is allows the user to have a more organized way of keeping track of the contributions that they have done in the open source project. So for example, for this repo, the user is able to create a new entry by picking the date, focus area, saying worked on improving the front end, files created or modified. Let's say they worked on the home page file. Bugs fixed. Let's say they I don't know improved the display of information which was being cut. And what I learned, how to use CSS for better styling decisions. Uh, that's written wrong, but they can then add this entry, and then the entry gets registered here. And if they click on the drop down button, they see more information of what they have added. And let's say, for example, if they wanted to edit this entry, they can go ahead and, as I mentioned, I made a typing error here, so styling decision. So then they can save and that gets updated, or if they want, they can delete this entry completely and it's no longer registered here. Um, Afterwards, as I mentioned, the user also can access their profile page, and this is where they have registered their initial tech stack when they were creating their account. Or if they didn't want to pick anything, this is where they would go to add new technology. So let's say that, for example, I wanted to add an image. I would go here, I could select an image. If I wanted to update my name, let's say I'm going to say I don't know. I want to update my name, then the name would be updated. Same with the GitHub. And then here also, if they learned a new technology, a new language, they can register that here. So let's say I became more proficient with HTML. I add HTML, and then that gets reflected here. Additionally, if the user wants to completely delete their profile, they can hit the delete profile button. This would delete their account and it would essentially lock them out to be prompted to create a new account again. So yeah, that was a demo for our video. Thank you so much for watching.